Suzanne.
Our first guest believes that there are no mistakes in life, only lessons to be learned. And here to share her life story with us is actress, singer, and best-selling author, Suzanne Summers.
Still crazy after all these years.
After all these years.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you. You too. I've had so much fun with you two.
We've done a lot of things together.
Well, you two work together.
Yes, and you were my first.
Finish the sentence.
I ever sang with on television.
It was all
the first.
Up in that studio that you guys all cleaned.
That was a great thing.
The only thing that bothers me, your father made me clean too.
Oh, yes.
Finish the song, then you get in there.
That's right. You mop it up.
And then we did your special.
We did Suzanne Summers and 6,000 Sailors.
It was really tough.
Yeah. That was so much fun, wasn't it?
So much fun.
And Earl Brown wrote that incredible piece of material for us.
He writes tons of music. He wrote a lot of music for Donnie.
Right. It was a special piece of material called "You're Not Like That at All" because you were a virgin at the time, and I wasn't. So the song was about good girl, bad girl.
It was.
Guess who
Who
was the
played
bad
the good girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Who played the good girl?
Right.
It was a fun number.
Yeah, it
really
was.
Great number.
It was. Yeah.
You know what? I found out something the other day that your first job, you were a model in San Francisco.
A bad model.
Oh,
What was your first
What do you mean a
job?
bad model?
Well, I mean, I was too short and I was busty, and you know, to be a model, you have to be tall and not. But anyway.
Not necessarily.
My first job was I dressed up as a squirrel and I passed out nuts on Market Street for the American Walnut Association. Want a nut? You know, my beginnings are humiliating. You know, I didn't start with a variety show like you guys did. I remember I hung in traction for a number of weeks for the American Medical Association.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, they needed a model, and I thought, I'm a model, and so I would get to work every day, and they'd strap me up, and then the doctors, they'd come by, because it was a convention. And they go, whoa, you're going to be 2 inches longer when you finish this one. And after you hear that maybe 100 times during the day, it's really hard to go, shut up.
Better than passing out nuts, though.
Better than passing out nuts,
Yes.
yeah.
I think that what you became, to me, when you a cameo or appearance that really became well known was American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know,
You're the T-Bird girl.
I was the mysterious blonde in the Thunderbird. I didn't get it though. It was an interview that I lived in Sausalito and I had to go across the Golden Gate Bridge, which was 50 cents. And I was really broke at that time, and I had just enough money for dinner for my little baby and I that night. So I got to the toll booth, and I didn't want to give them my dinner money, so they pulled me over to the side. When you don't have money for the toll booth, you have to leave some collateral, so I would leave a tube of lipstick. Today, at the Golden Gate Bridge, I know they have a box full of my lipsticks, because that's how I would get across the bridge. But anyway, I was on my way in to do this interview. I told you, it was like really hard beginnings. And so I got to this interview, and I walk in, and there are about 250 blonde girls, and they're all beautiful. So, I mean, just beautiful. And I knew the casting agent and said, I can't pay the parking, and I've got to get home. And he said, well, George Lucas was really interested in your picture. Let me go see. So he called me in. He said, you can go before all these girls. I went in. And George, he's not very tall, and he was slumped down under his seat. So all I saw was this head coming out from the desk. And he looked at me and he said, can you drive? And I said, yeah. He said, thank you. And that was my interview. And
really?
I thought, well, glad I didn't waste my time on this, on parking and all. And then I got home and they said, you got it.
Got the part.
Yeah. And then the day that we shot, I'm sitting in the trailer with Richard Dreyfuss, who I don't know who he is, and Cindy Williams.
You know
who
who
I
he
don't
is
know who
now.
she is. Yes, yeah,
Okay.
Right. No, back then. Harrison Ford, just a quiet guy sitting in the back of the trailer. Ron Howard. George Lucas, Francis Coppola.
Wow.
Who else was in that movie?
Everybody was in that
Charles
movie.
Martin, all those people. And I remember sitting, George was giving a pep talk about what this movie is about and what we're trying to accomplish, and I was sitting there thinking, what a bunch of losers.
Were you wrong?
Yeah, was I wrong? Yeah.
Your father was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Did that affect you in any adverse kind of way?
Oh,
growing up?
I mean, it's everything I was and everything I am today. I mean, I've written, on my 6th book comes out this year. 3 of them have to do with that subject because I was so profoundly affected by it. And I spent the first part of my life denying that it ever happened. And then one day I woke up in the middle of the night and started writing that first autobiography, Keeping Secrets. And it changed who I am as a person. It changed the course of my life. It changed everything about my career, because after I wrote the book, letters started coming in, and you could literally fill a small room, floor to ceiling, stuffed with letters. And that's the amount of letters that started coming in, and they still come in. That book is still out there saying, you know, you opened the door for me, you wrote my life. And then I started getting requests for lectures, and I went on the lecture circuit, and now a big part of my career is on the lecture circuit.
But you have a wonderful story you can relate to so many
Because I made it out, and that's what I'm saying to me. It doesn't matter, really the essence of my lecture always is it doesn't matter where you come from. You can change your life, but you got to be willing to do the work to change your life.
Now, what is your new book, which is called
After the Fall, right?
And so it's about...
This is about having the most incredible break of my life, getting Three's Company, and how incredible that was, and then getting fired for asking for a raise because, believe it or not, Chrissy Snow was the first feminist. My contract was up, and I went in and I said, I'd like you to pay me what you're paying the men. And I gave them Alan Alda's salary as an example of what, see, that's what he's getting, that's what I'd like. And I got fired because they wanted to stop that precedent. So it took me...
You were really one of the forerunners, I think.
I was. Today, you know, when I see women making these big salaries, I sort of kind of
should all
smile to
thank you.
myself. Well, I had something to do with it, I think, because I think after I was fired for asking for a raise, our ratings at that time were so phenomenal. Three's Company was the #1 show in America, and we were getting 40 to 46 shares, and that is twice what Seinfeld was getting at the height of Seinfeld. And after I left, not because of me, but because the chemistry was dismantled, the ratings went down by half. And so I think ratings equal dollars, and I think that they realized, well, maybe we should have given her a little to keep the chemistry intact, to keep the show going.
Did you feel vindicated at that point when the ratings were going down?
No, I never looked back. It was such a painful thing, and I always wanted to sing, and that's when I went to Vegas, and that's when I started doing the specials. I was depressed for about a year, really depressed, where I thought, wow, I really blew this thing. But then Vegas became so incredible, and in 1987, when I was Female Entertainer of the Year, along with Frank Sinatra, that was the moment where I thought, okay, you know, one door closes, another door opens.
That's right.
But the thing is you are a survivor, and that's the main thing. And now, I mean, you come back, you're doing so many things. You're doing Candid Camera.
Candid Camera every Friday night.
That's got to be hilarious to work on.
And you know, I mean, even though you are a forerunner and bad things happen, it shows that you can turn things around.
Absolutely.
And are you enjoying the new show?
Candid Camera?
Well, not new. You've been. This is what, your 2nd year?
Yeah, and the stunts are fun to do.
Well, you've always
as long
been
as I don't have to
fun.
hurt somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like a stunt where the person ends up with egg on their face. I like the egg to end up on my face, or that they really enjoy what's going on.
Well, you brought a clip with you. Do you want to set up the scene?
Well, I was asked, we went to Chicago, and I was asked to be the information woman at the top of the Sears Tower, which is the highest building in Chicago, where you can see everything. And so people come up and want to know where Wrigley Field is and things. I was the information lady with no information.
Okay.
All right, take a look.
Yeah.
This was built in 1993.
73.
It was built in 73?
Wait, this was built in 1993?
Was it?
This building was built in 1993?
Maybe I'm confused. Was the building built in 1993 or 73?
I thought I was here in 73.
You were here in was it here there in 73? Must have been built then. Yeah. The restroom?
No, the restaurant.
Well, the restaurant has a restroom.
Yeah, no, I don't know where the restaurant is.
It's where the restroom is with the restaurant.
Oh.
book on recipes and
Eat Great,
eating.
Lose Weight?
Yeah, it's fabulous.
It is incredible.
It's
If you want to be
terrific.
skinny, buy my book, Eat Great, Lose Weight. There are 1 million people,
It's a
a
good
million
book. I like it.
people eating my food now. 1 million people.
Well, I'm going to start.
You don't need it.
Suzanne,
No,
thank
I
you
do.
so
I
much.
got it and I enjoy it.
Suzanne Summers!
Up next, teen singing star Monica. And later, Melrose Place's newest hunk, John Haynes Duke.